Okay guys, I'm gonna send you a copy of the directions that I used when we were in class to make our paper polyhedrons. But I wanna show you kind of in person to show you some things that I think you might get caught up on. So this video might end up being a little bit long, but I wanna make sure that you know how to do this if you're interested in doing it. So first of all, what a polyhedron is a 3D shape made of polygons. So technically when we made those, there is a lot of curves to it. But if you look up what a polyhedron is, it really does reflect a good idea of what one is. First thing you'll need to do is print out these funny looking shapes. There's 3 per sheet and you'll have to do 10 sheets, a total of 30 of these. So cardstock, it doesn't have to be really heavy, but regular paper isn't gonna work. So if you get 10 sheets of cardstock, I have the sheet for you to print out. You have to do 10 of them. So after you print those out, 10 copies, 3 of these each, so you have 30 of these. It's completely up to you if you want to do them all the same color. If we were in school, I would provide this for you, but I can't provide that for you right now. Please be very careful when you cut them out, excuse me. These little edges are really, really important. And if you notice, this edge is just curvy, whereas this one kind of has a little bit of an edge to it, like a point. Really, really important that you do that accurately, because if you don't, it won't stay together. The other little hint that I can give you is don't try to cut a bunch in one cutting. So if you try to do that, you're gonna have some big issues and it's not gonna be accurate, then it's not gonna stay together. When I cut these earlier today, this took me a good hour to cut these out. If we were doing it in school, I'd give you 90 minutes to cut it, 90 minutes to put it together. So just give you an idea where we're going with it. Again, here's my directions I'm going to be following. One thing you need to realize is there's 2 kinds of intersections. The first one I want to show you has an intersection of 5 things, or 5 shapes. So you see this little spiral right here, there's 5 colors in there. The other one has an intersection of 3. Okay, so that's key. So when you look at mine, let's use this white shape for an example. So in this corner of the white shape, there's an intersection of 5. So in this opposite corner is also going to have an intersection of 5, which means these 2 in opposite corners are going to have intersections of 3. That's kind of the pattern that you follow. So I have my intersection of 5, intersection of 3. I'm going to show you how I got started. What you want to pay attention to, look at the difference between what this looks like and what this looks like. Do you see how they're kind of different? This one has like the point and this one has kind of it looks more like downward, so to speak, it's more smooth. So what I'm going to do to make this set of 5, I'm going to use the one that has the pointed edge. And I'm going to take the pointed edge and the pointed edge, and I'm going to kind of spiral it. So I hooked it, and then I'm gonna hook the rounded ones together. So when you hook them, this is natural. It's supposed to pop up a little bit. That's what's gonna form that ball looking figure. Again, look, I'm paying attention to what I'm hooking together. These are all the ones with the points. I'm gonna hook it under there, and then I'm gonna hook it to this pink one. So far I have 3. I'm gonna do 2 more. So again, I'm paying attention to what I'm hooking in there. This is the one that has the point, not the smooth one. I'm gonna hook it here, and then I'm gonna hook it to the yellow. And then there's one more spot here which gets a little bit tricky. So again, be careful which way you hook it. The other thing that might cause you problems is if you try to hook it and it's flipped, that can cause you problems. So if something doesn't quite seem right, that's kind of a problem-solving idea for you. So I'm gonna hook it under, and I'm gonna hook it to the purple here. And then I'm gonna hook it to the white, so that when you set it down, it should kind of curve. So that was my pointed one with an intersection of 5. I'm gonna show you my intersection of 3. Okay, so I'm gonna use one of these, all 3. Another good hint before you get started, I'm doing an intersection of 3, is to make sure they all match up so that they're all facing the same way. So remember what I showed you a minute ago? These are kind of this sharp edge. This one is the smooth edge. So for the intersections of 3, I'm going to intersect the smooth edge. Remember, this is the intersection I'm looking at. So smooth edge, I'm going to hook it under there, and then I'm going to hook it to the white here, and I'm going to hook it to the flowers here. So there's my example of the 3 and the 5. Continue going on from here. So using my 3, this one has 3, so this one would have to have 3. This one would have to have 5, and this one would have to have 5. It does get tricky, and especially at the end, don't get frustrated with it. It takes a lot of time. I'm going to go ahead and put mine together, and then I'll show you a picture of mine when it's all done.